Hello everyone, I am back for the third time this week. I honestly did not expect to make this many videos, so I apologize if you guys feel a little, what's the word I'm looking, not burdened, not overwhelmed, screw it, I'm done. Forget these things. So, I got a video request in one of my other videos, I forget which one it was, which one was it, it was, you see, I've done so many videos lately, I forget what I've done, I really do, kinda, I don't know, I'm rambling, anyways, the girl has been wanting me to talk about homosexuality and K-pop for the longest time. She's been wanting me to do this video for like, I want to say a month, maybe 2 months or so. So I told her I'd have it up by today, and this is a little late, so hopefully she sees it, but I'm deciding to do it right now, and I'm doing it today. And if my voice sounds a little scratchy, then I apologize for that, but there's not a lot I can do about that. I always talk really scratchy like this. I don't know why, though. Anyways. Basically, she just wants me to talk about how I would feel if idols in K-pop were to come out and whatnot, and it's actually somewhat hard to talk about because on one hand I feel like it'd be a good thing for them, but for their careers, maybe not so much. But like I said, it's really hard to talk about because on one hand you do want your idols to be happy and you want them, you know, to enjoy their lives the way that they want to, but on the other hand they also do have to think about their careers because, as a lot of us know, they have families, they have mouths to feed, they have parents to take care of. You know, family togetherness really is a big thing in East Asia, and I don't think that a lot of people really know to the biggest extent how big of a deal family is in East Asian culture, but it really is a big deal. And that's actually another thing about homosexuality and K-pop that would make it really hard. In general, from what I've heard in Korea, if you come out, that's somewhat, it does depend on the family because not everybody's the same, and I'm not going to generalize South Korean people like that because that would be wrong. But all of the stories that I've heard, in general, the family was really embarrassed by it in a sense because it was almost like they felt like the person, whoever came out in the family, was like a disgrace to the family, and because they came out, the entire family wasn't raising them right, and they didn't like that. Basically, I don't know how to word exactly what I want to say, but basically it's like that decision affected the whole family. And I feel like if an idol were to come out in front of the world, especially, and if their family wasn't very supportive about it, that would be really bad on their part. And I would, in general, I feel bad. I would honestly feel really bad for any idol who came out because I know they would get some type of shit. Because one thing that international K-pop fans tend to not realize is that it's like, we are very, you see, it's so hard to word this. How can I say this? I feel like as international fans, we tend to forget that our cultures are not the only cultures and our beliefs are not the only beliefs out there. Because I know for a fact international K-pop fans, for the most part, from what I've seen, are very accepting of homosexuality. I mean, we're in K-pop. You're pretty much gay until you're proven straight. So there's not a lot you can do about that. But I think that some people are so, not precisely delusional, but so drawn to the idea of idols being homosexual to the point where they forget what it's like for homosexual people in South Korea. And I can't really speak directly about that because I don't live in South Korea, nor am I homosexual. So, I just lost my train of thought. I'm like a dumb blonde. Y'all should know this already. But, God, I just lost my train of thought. I really did. What was I even talking about? What was I talking about? Hard for... I'm so embarrassed. I really just lost my train of thought. Wow. I can't remember. Wow. Anyways, the fans, international fans, they tend to be, like I said, they tend to be really drawn to the ideal of homosexuality to the point where they don't think of what degree it would affect the idol if they were to come out. Like, I'm not saying like that automatically if they come out then hell is going to be raised. It's very, very likely, but it's not automatically that that's going to happen. I don't know. I just feel like if you're a fan of an idol and they do come out, because coming out is hard to do, no matter who you are, no matter what country you're in, it is hard as hell to do, especially if you're in a society that's not precisely accepting of it. Like in America, for example, people are more so accepting of homosexuality, but we still have a long way to go in the means of acceptance, especially with people, you know, with this whole God didn't intend for gays to be created or men to be gay or what the hell ever some Christians go on and on about. But interesting point about that, that's kind of off topic of the video, but I really want a Christian to answer this. If God did not intend for homosexuality to exist, then why is the man's ultimate pleasure point in his ass and not in his penis? Can you answer that for me? What was Jesus thinking there? Well, not Jesus. Jesus didn't create the world. God did. So excuse that little dumb moment. I've been having dumb moments this entire video. But anyways, yeah, like I said, it's not like it's gonna be an automatic hellstorm, but there is gonna be a lot of things that they have to go through. Like I remember this one guy, I always forget his name. He came out in South Korea years ago, and apparently his career was very big. I don't know, because I think it was early 2000s or something like that he was active, and I didn't get into K-pop to the degree that I am now until about 2006ish maybe. So he came out and there was a big controversy over that. Basically his career was essentially ruined because he came out. And every time I read about it, and I remember when I first read about it, I just felt so bad for him, because like I said, it's hard for anybody to come out to their parents because you don't know how people are going to take it. There have been instances where people have come out and their best friends haven't accepted them, and I think that that's just, it's really just unfortunate, because you can think that you know somebody, but when you reveal something that's so deep and personal about yourself, then people don't accept you, and that's just so hard to deal with, even in general. So this is kind of off topic in the video too, but I commend any gay person, any person in the LGBT community who comes out and just says who they are, because that's beautiful and that's confident and that's brave, and I respect anybody who's like that. I really do, because you're not afraid to be yourself. And you know, I look up to anybody like that, because whether or not you know it, I'm really insecure myself. So if you're brave enough to reveal something like that about yourself, then that deserves nothing but the utmost of respect, and you should be able to love whoever you love, no matter who you are. Don't let people tell you that you, just because somebody's a man and you're a man, or somebody's a woman and you're a woman, or somebody's transgender and you're a man, or whatever, you have no right to love them. Because at the end of the day, love is not a gender. Love is, you love the person for the person, and that's it. Essentially, maybe you love them for their private parts, but who knows? Maybe they get good dick. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but in general, I feel like love isn't about a gender. So I think, like I said, I just commend anybody who comes out, because that's just, is really hard to do. And the girl wanted me to talk about whether I would support the idols if they did come out, and hands down, yes, I would, because I'm very supportive of the LGBT community. I have a lot of friends in the LGBT community, and I love the gays. Love the gays. Love them. And I feel like with everything that I've already said about the LGBT community, everybody who knows me knows I'm really supportive of the LGBT community, and I don't take that homophobic crap. I really don't. And I feel like if I weren't supportive of the idols when they came out, that would be extremely hypocritical on my part to, you know, praise the gay community and say this and that about them and how amazing they are, but then trash an idol because they came out, or not be their fan anymore. And I feel like, unfortunately, if an idol were to come out, that would happen. Maybe not to a large degree, but it would happen. And I feel like if you would actually do that to an idol, like just drop them completely because they're gay, you weren't a real fan in the first place. That's honestly how I feel. Maybe there's a difference between not accepting their lifestyle choice and just completely dropping them because of the fact that they're gay. Like, just ignoring everything that they did just because they're gay. That's not a real fan. Maybe you can still like their music and not accept their lifestyle choice, but to trash a person just because they're gay, I don't see the point. I really don't. And she also wanted me to talk about what the companies would do. In general, I think it would really depend on the controversy and how big the controversy was. I think some companies would maybe fight for their idols depending on who it is, and maybe some people would drop them just due to the controversy. But in general, and I kind of remember my earlier point that I was going to say earlier, I almost had to burp, sorry about that. I actually get really worried when I think about this in general, because I don't honestly, like, if an idol were to come out, I would not know what the hell was about to happen. And if they get hate to a worldwide degree, into like a nationwide degree in the means of South Korea, and then I would be so scared for that idol. I don't know what they would do. I would just pray that they would not like go to the degree of killing themselves. I think at that point, when an idol does come out, if it ever does happen, we even as just international fans need to let that idol know that you're okay, you're fine, we support you. Even if other people don't, you need to stay strong. You keep doing what you're doing, you stay strong, you don't give up. And I actually want to direct that to anybody in the LGBT community. If you're getting shit right now because you're gay, lesbian, transsexual, bisexual, I kind of mix that up, but ignore that. Don't give up. Just don't give up. I personally know how it feels to be suicidal. Not because of that, but I know how it feels to be suicidal. And it's not easy. But really, you just have to keep fighting. You have to stay strong. Because it will get better eventually. And if those people are treating you in a negative light just because of something like your sexuality, that isn't even their business. And that's actually something else. Somebody's sexuality is absolutely none of your business unless you are in the bed laying with them. If you have their pussy in your mouth or their dick in your ass, then it's your business. Other than that, it is absolutely none of your business what somebody's sexuality is. And you have no right to act like you're entitled to know what somebody's sexuality is. You have absolutely no right to do that. That's disrespectful. And nobody should have to go through that. Nobody. But anyways. Yeah, it's just nobody should have to go through that. Nobody, even an idol, especially not an idol. And it's even harder for them since they're in the worldwide, they're in the public light, so it would be even harder for them to have to go through this. And it would be just so unfortunate if everybody was just against them. And South Korea as a nation in general, from what I understand, is not very homosexually uplifting in a sense. They're not very supportive of the gay community, but there are steps being taken, and I'm hoping, and it seems like with this younger generation, especially with shipping, that maybe, just maybe, advancements can be made forward. I'm actually somewhat interested in what would happen if an idol would come out, because just to see whether or not the K fans would support them or not. And I'm not going to diss all the K fans and say that they absolutely wouldn't. That's not the case at all. But I think in a sense, if you've loved somebody for years and you've been a fan of theirs for years, then, and you see them hurting, you can't just give up on them like that. Like, I know if, for example, Junghyun were to come out, I would never just disrespect him or anything like that just because he was gay. I would want to, in a sense, protect him, but not really, because the word protecting in the K-pop community, y'all know how that shit goes. It's not very pleasant. So I would just like try to really just let him know that, like, you're okay, you'll be fine, don't worry about what the haters say. But like I said, the whole, especially with the family factor, it is so just, it's hard. It would be really hard. And honestly, I would just commend any K-pop idol, any K-pop superstar who came out. I really would, because to do that in front of a worldwide sense, especially with in a world where man and woman tends to be the norm, quote unquote, is to be outside of the norm. That's just is commendable. It really is, because not a lot of people have the balls in order to do that. And people always like to rag on gay people and say, oh, you're gay, you're a pussy, blah 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 blah. Gay people have bigger balls than any people that I have ever met in my life. To be out and to be accepting of who you are and to know who you are especially is amazing, because a lot of people nowadays don't even know who they are. So you can't diss a gay person when you don't even know yourself who the hell you are, and you wouldn't even have the balls to come out and do something like they done. So it's commendable. It really is. And I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, and I want to end this video soon. And this next part might be a little fun, a little bit, but she asked me to also name a K-pop idol who I would think would be gay in the K-pop community. And in general, I don't make assumptions like that, because assumptions like that have been made about me all throughout high school, and that's one of the reasons why I was bullied. And I actually don't talk about this a lot, but it happens, so whatever. As you can tell by my voice and how I act, sometimes I don't act like the conventional black man, and because of that, I was made fun of a lot. I was assumed to be gay. Nobody ever asked me if I was gay or anything like that, except this one time, and I hate talking about this. There was this really cute girl at my school, and I kind of had a crush on her, and first time she ever talked to me was to ask if I was gay, but she wasn't asking for her, she was asking for a group of dudes behind her who were laughing at me. So that kind of fucked me up in the means of relationships in the future. Like, I'm still like, oh shit, that happened. It's not gonna happen in the future. But anyways, besides the point. In general, I tend to not make assumptions like that about people based on the way that they act, etc., because I feel like it's disrespectful, and it's especially disrespectful to the gay community, because you're like pretty much outlining, if you're this, you're gay. Like, it doesn't work that way. I personally feel like you could screw a man, you can be a man and fuck a man and not be gay. That's just my opinion. But I will say this. Let me see how I can word this. If any idols were to come out in the future, I would suppose, even though this is kind of a typical answer, I would suppose it would probably be Key. Like, honestly, I would really, if anybody were to have the balls to do something like that, and if they were gay, Key would hands down be the one who I'd expect to do it. Because in general, actually, he seems like the type of person to not really give a damn what anybody says about him, etc., and stand up for what he believes in. But usually those type of people, when they're backed against the wall, are usually the ones who fall the hardest, and it's so unfortunate to see somebody who's so strong just break down like that, and I pray it wouldn't happen to him. But if any idol were to come out, I would suppose it would be him, just because he would have the confidence in order to do it. And oh